Good morning, students. In this session of electrochemistry, we will be studying about electrolysis, electrolytic cell and Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Now, first of all, what is electrolysis? Process in which electrical energy is used to bring about a chemical reaction. That means we will give electrical energy and it will be converted into chemical energy. And this process takes place in a device which is called as the electrolytic cell. The device used to convert electrical energy to chemical energy is an electrolytic cell. Now we will take a very simple example of electrolysis just to understand the process. So we are carrying out a simple example of electrolysis. We are taking up an electrolytic cell made up of copper electrodes, that means both cathode and anode are of copper, dipped in aqueous copper sulfate solution. Let us just see it. I consider these are two electrodes, copper electrodes. They are dipped in copper sulfate solution, aqueous copper sulfate. These two are the copper rods and they are connected to an external source of voltage, battery. That means we are getting the electrical energy. Cell is not generating the electrical energy, these batteries are giving the electrical energy. Electrode which is joined to the negative terminal is negatively charged. One which is joined to the positive terminal is positively charged. Now copper sulfate will ionize into copper and sulfate ions in the aqueous solution. It will ionize like this. Now copper ions are positively charged. The positively charged ions will be attracted towards the negative electrode. So at negative electrode, let us see what reaction takes place. Copper ions are attracted and they undergo reduction. You can see reduction is taking place. Reduction means negative electrode is your cathode here. Because you all remember we have done red cap. That means at cathode reduction takes place. So you can clearly see that at cathode reduction is taking place. At anode oxidation takes place. You know another one will be anode. And at anode what takes place? Oxidation. Let's see here. This rod which acts as anode. This is your copper rod. Copper will undergo oxidation. So what will happen? This rod will slowly become thin and copper will come in the solution from here and from solution copper will deposit here. So this rod will become thick. Cathode will become thick and anode will become thin. The whole of the copper will slowly deposit on the cathode. This reaction is also used in refining of copper. During the metallurgy, that means when we extract copper from the earth crust and we get the impure copper metal, it is purified by this method. In fact, many reactive metals like sodium and magnesium are obtained from the electrolysis of their molten chlorides. We will do it in detail. Aluminium, it is obtained by electrolysis of its molten oxide. So during the extraction of these metals also, electrolysis is a very important process. Now we will do the electrolysis of different substances in detail. But first let us do with the Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Michael Faraday was a scientist who gave these laws of electrolysis. Michael Faraday. So let us see with the Michael Faraday's laws. What are the Faraday's laws which are given? So we are doing Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Laws of electrolysis. There are two laws given by Faraday. So we will be doing the Faraday's first law and the Faraday's second law. Electrolysis. So we are doing Faraday's first law. Now this law states that the amount of chemical substance deposited at or liberated at the electrodes is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity flowing through the cell. Now what is the quantity of electricity flowing through the cell? We say the amount of substance. Suppose I represent the amount of substance by M. M is mass of substance deposited or liberated. Mass of substance which is deposited or liberated at the electrodes. It is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity. Q is quantity of electricity. We know that Q is equal to I multiplied by T, current into time. So M is directly proportional to IT, current into time. And when I remove the proportionality sign, I get the constant Z. Z is called as the electrochemical equivalent. Again, I am repeating, quantity of electricity is equal to IT. I is current, T is time. And Z is called as the electrochemical equivalent. And how we determine Z? Z is equal to atomic mass upon N. N is number of electrons gained or lost, multiplied by 96500. You can also say that atomic mass upon N is called as equivalent mass. So I can say equivalent mass upon 96500. That is the value of Z. So this is your Faraday's first law. Now one thing, the quantity of electricity which is required to deposit a particular, if I want certain reactions taking place as we have done the example copper. If I want I have to deposit, suppose I pre-decide I have to deposit, suppose I say 80 grams of copper. 80 grams of copper at the electrode. Now I have to calculate the quantity of electricity. The quantity of electricity needed to deposit, needed to liberate or deposit a specific amount of substance depends on Q, quantity of electricity, which can be calculated from charge on electrons. Why from charge of electrons? Because actually electrons carry the current. So one method is this, I can determine Q is equal to I into T. Another method to determine Q is I can determine Q from the charge on electrons. For this we have done earlier also, and you know this also, one electron, charge on one electron is equal to, what is the charge on one electron? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs, the magnitude of charge. Obviously it is negative. What is the charge on 1 mole of electrons? Charge on 1 mole of electrons, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 multiplied by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. And that comes out to be 96487 coulomb. That is nearly taken to 96500 coulombs, and this is equal to 1 Faraday. This is equal to 1 Faraday. Now let us do some tricky questions just to find out how we find out this. How we find out the quantity of electricity or amount of substance deposited from the charge on electrons. Let us see. We are doing one question. How much electricity in terms of Faraday? Terms of Faraday. We have to find out in terms of Faraday. 1 Faraday is the charge carried by 1 mole of electrons. 1 Faraday, 1 mole of electrons is equivalent to 1 Faraday. Are required for the following. Let us take the example. First, to obtain 1 mole of nickel from Ni+2. Second part, to reduce 2 mole of copper to Cu+2 to copper. Third, to obtain 1 mole of O2 from water. To reduce 3 mole of Cr2O7 2 negative to Cr+ ring. To obtain 20 gram of calcium from calcium fluoride. I have taken these examples. Let us do them one by one. First one. To obtain 1 mole of nickel from Ni+2. You have to remember, charge on 1 mole of electron is what? 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday, 96500 coulomb. What you have to do? You have to obtain 1 mole of nickel from Ni+2. Ni+2 plus 2 electrons will give nickel. First I have to write the reaction. So this is the first part. How much nickel I have to obtain? 1 mole. This is 1 mole because nothing is written here as 1 mole. For 1 mole you require 2 mole of electron. What is the charge on 1 mole? 1 Faraday. So charge on 2 mole? 2 Faraday. The answer is 2 Faraday. To obtain 1 mole of nickel you require 2 Faraday. Let us take the second. To reduce 2 mole of Cu+2 to copper. First I write the reaction, reduction, reduce Cu+2 to copper. Right? Now you can see amount of what is given to us, Cu+2. So I see here, 1 mole of Cu+2 required 2 mole of electron. 1 mole require 2 moles of electron. The 2 mole will require 4 mole, and charge on 1 mole is 1 Faraday. 4 moles it is 4 Faraday. So your answer is 4 Faraday. Third part. To obtain 1 mole of O2 from H2O. From H2O. So from H2O I want O2. Now you have to see only oxygen. You are not concerned with hydrogen. Not concerned with hydrogen, only oxygen. I have to obtain 1 mole. So I have to first balance it. There are 2 oxygens. So I write here 2. What is the charge on oxygen? -2. I am not concerned with hydrogen because in the question I have been asked only about oxygen. What is the charge on oxygen? -2. From -2 you are going to 0. O2 pe charge? 0. You have done redox reactions. So -2 to 0. How many electrons to be removed? 2 for 1 oxygen. But how many oxygens are there? -2 on 1, 2 oxygens it is -4. So -4 to 0, 4 electrons. 4 electrons means 4 mole. So for 1 mole you require 4 Faraday. This is the answer. This is oxidation reaction. These we were writing is reduction reactions. So you have to judge what is it, oxidation or reduction. Fourth, to reduce 3 mole of Cr2O7 2 negative to Cr plus 3. I take up Cr2O7 2 negative to Cr plus 3. First I balance it, 2. I am not concerned with oxidation, I am only concerned with chromium. I find out the oxidation number of chromium. How? I know 2x plus 7 into minus 2, because charge on oxygen is minus 2, equal to net charges minus 2. So x comes out to be plus 6. So plus 6 to plus 3. 3 electrons it is adding. But 2 chromiums are there, so 6 electrons. For 1 chromium charge is plus 6. Plus 6 to plus 3, 3 electrons. But how many chromiums are there? 2? 6 electrons. Now, we can just see here, how many moles of Cr2O7 are there? 1 mole. 1 mole. 1 mole of Cr2O7. This is, nothing is written here, it is 1 mole. I am not saying chromium, I am saying Cr2O7 2 negative. Because moles of this are given to you. So 1 mole require 6 Faraday. 3 mole require 18 Faraday. So our answer is 18 Faraday. Fifth part. To obtain 20 grams of calcium from calcium chloride. Calcium chloride to calcium. I am not concerned with chlorine, because chlorine is not there in the product. What is the oxidation number of calcium here? Plus 2, 2, 0. You require how much? 2 electrons. 2 mole and I get 1 mole. What is the molar mass of calcium? Molar mass of calcium is 40. So for 40 gram you require 2 Faraday. So how much Faraday do you require for 20 gram? 20 gram you require 1 Faraday. So for 20 gram you require 1 Faraday. Now one more question. I want to keep this fourth question, I change a little bit so that you know a difference. I say to obtain 4 mole of Cr plus 3 from Cr2O7 2 negative. Just see, I just changed a little bit. I know that the equation will remain same. Just see, fourth part you have copied it, just see. Equation will remain same. It is same. But what is given to us in this question? Amount of Cr plus 3. So we deal there. 2 mole requires 6 Faraday. 6 moles means 6 Faraday. So 4 mole will require 12 Faraday. So your answer is 12 Faraday. This is how you do it. So this we have explained Faraday's first law and how the quantity of electricity depends upon the number of moles of electrons or the charge on the electrons. Now let us do the Faraday's second law. Faraday's second law. If 2 or more cells are connected in series, with cells, electrolytic cells. We connect them in series, that is same amount of current flows through them because you are connecting them in series, through them for same time t. That means I and t will be same for all the electrolytic cells. For same time t. Then the amount of substances liberated at the electrodes are in the ratio of their electrochemical equivalence, are in the ratio of their electrochemical equivalence. I just take an example to explain. I consider that there are three cells, three electrolytic cells connected in series. What are the three electrolytic cells connected in series? Three electrolytic cells connected in series. Copper in copper sulfate, two copper rods are there dipped in aqueous copper sulfate. Silver in silver nitrate, aqueous AgNO3 solution. Third, zinc in zinc sulfate. The three electrolytic cells connected in series. In this case, copper is deposited. In this case, silver is deposited at the cathode. Here copper and here zinc. All are deposited. According to this law. Now, according to this law, mass of copper deposited is equal to electrochemical equivalent of copper multiplied by I into T. Mass of zinc deposited, Z of zinc, IT. Mass of silver deposited, Z of silver, IT. IT is same for all of them. We have already written that same amount of current flows through them for the same time T. Now what I do? I divide equation 1 by 2. What we do? We divide equation 1 by 2. I am dividing it here. So what it will be? M of copper upon M of zinc is equal to Z of copper upon Z of zinc. And you can see IT will cancel, and the masses deposited are in the ratio of their electrochemical equivalence. I can also divide second by third. Second by third, the mass of zinc upon mass of silver is equal to Z of zinc upon Z of silver. IT will get cancelled. So if I know the mass of one of the substance which is deposited, suppose I know the mass of copper, I can find out the mass of zinc deposited, I can find out the mass of silver deposited. So this we have done with your Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Thank you.